Got a lot of stuff going on. Can you walk us through how you set up this multi-pane and then kind of layer through like what each tool is doing and how you're using it? Because the one thing I will point out to people, he's one of the few that actually uses our liquidation levels tools, and he tends to kill with it. It's not something I personally trade with a lot, but he's one of the ones that religiously uses it, and I was wanting to really highlight that.
Yeah, so this is kind of a good example of it right now with what's going on with Bitcoin pushing up here. You can see all these liquidation levels here that they're pushing into. So basically, this is my typical setup. Um, the other tools that I use here, which are these support and resistance zones, learn from this guy who's really smart in crypto as well as trading, who trades basically similar setups to how I do. Not the same setup as far as the grid goes, but uh, trading tether totals 1, 2, and 3. I watch all three of them. But within the system, Bitcoin, ETH, tether, and 2 or 3 of the totals, because they all sync up. I mean, the more you trade it, the more you see it. But you'll see that when things are getting hit on Bitcoin and ETH, they're typically getting hit on tether at the same time. And if Bitcoin's leading, you'll be looking at like the totals 1. If alts are leading, you'll look at totals 3 or totals 2. And it's kind of just how I see things, right? I learned from him, which he's a great person to learn from as far as what to watch. But yeah, I've been doing it over a couple of years now, and you just kind of start to see things, and you start to see price action, and it's very repeatable a lot of the time too.
So do you typically stay in this time frame on these?
I'm very much a hybrid scalper swing trader. So I trade a lot of scalps, and then some of those scalps turn into swings. But then on more macro levels, I would be on higher time frames. But I trade both, and typically I'm on 15 minutes for entries and exits, and then I'll be on 4 hours for seeking entries for more swing stuff. So I'll show you here on my other chart here. Just one sec. So this is would be on the 4 hour. This would be like my typical more swing setups, I guess. So these are like weekly levels that I'd be looking at using the other system that I use, which is called True Algo. And basically you're looking at these boxes to hold on the weekly level, and I'd be shorting up here and I'd be longing down here, and then I'd be looking, since we broke out here a little bit, I'd be looking up here somewhere, possibly up here if we can get it. But typically I'll have Bitcoin and Tether leading the way, and this is what I'd be looking at. So you see here when we're hitting the resistance here on Bitcoin, where I'd be looking to short, you'd be hitting support here on Tether in an ideal situation where they'd be matching up, and then vice versa. If you're looking on support to long here, you'd be looking at resistance on Tether, because they're actually opposite. So Tether's, you'd be looking for support when you're looking at resistance up here, and you can also flip these if you want to, just invert it
So
if you want them to match up.
do you do any TAs as far as like shapes on the dominance or the market caps? Or is it just
Uh,
strictly applying the indicators
I
to it?
I do TA. I used to do more macro stuff. I used to pull more manual fibs, and I used to do a lot of that stuff. And honestly, this stuff works so well for me. I don't really need to do it. I'll still pull macro levels and look at more dailies and 3-day charts and weeklies and whatnot. But honestly, most of the time I don't even look at it anymore. I'm able to read price action. I look for whale movements. I look for volume to come in on the split volume, and when I hit these levels, if they do what I want them to do, I'm shorting or I'm longing. It's pretty simple. I mean, your stop loss is down here, on a long. You just get in when it wicks back up. You get taken out of stop loss, not a big deal. And typically I'll have a short running at the same time. So I'd have a short going down here, and then I'll look for longs, get into a long, keep some of my short running to protect that stop loss. And when we start reversing, I'll start closing more of my short out, keep the long open.
You open those at the same time, or
What do you mean?
you wind that back up a little bit? Like walk me through like an
Okay,
entry where
so
you're protecting
so
with a
like this
short.
this Bitcoin play here, right? I would have shorted somewhere in this area, whether it's up here right at the top or down here lower. I could even get in down here when we lose this box. But on this case, I actually did short up here. So just the color of like the purple candle going up into where I want it to go. You get that nice RSI top, short here. So I'd be riding this down. I would take profits along the way. I would take profits heavier down here. And then once we lost this box here, I would be holding on for a little bit lower. And then this would still be open. I'd have taken profits out. And then I still got this support level here. This is where I'd be looking to long. But I wouldn't close out fully on my short because I'd basically be using it as protection. So if my stop gets hit and we just keep going down, I take that stop loss, but my short's still printing, right? So I'll leave that open and basically protect my stop. But once we reverse and I have that nice long going and we start breaking above, I think I was looking at about 93 on this level. Once we start getting above there, I would have closed out most of my short and then just let my long run.
So you did short this trying to prevent the stream and get us under 100K.
At this time, yes. The other day when I was accused of it, no. But this one definitely. I mean, I shorted 107, 108 when I was talking in the Discord about it. Yeah, I mean, I'll short probably sometime soon if I like what I see, but we'll see what happens.
So there's a lot of people that have questions in regards to how you layer in and out of trades. When you're flying through these saying like taking profits, do you do it in set intervals, 10% here, 20% there, or how do you run through that?
Typically, I'll just take it based on price action. I'm on the charts a lot, so I'll be watching price action levels. I won't have it set. Like I won't be like in this situation where you see here, we got to 1015. I won't have a take profit set there because I want to see what the price is going to do. If it's going to bust through there and keep going higher, I'm not going to take profit yet on my longs, right? So typically, I will just look for levels that I like. Like, I took profits, not here, but previously when it was hitting other areas. If it reverses here, starts closing below its box, I'll take some more profits on my longs. But honestly, I'm in from like 86 right now, I think is my average. So I'm not too concerned about being too quick to get out. I will look for shorts though as I need to.
That's cool, especially 86. You caught the tip of that wick if that's the case.